You know what? I have really enjoyed using Air, right? I've really enjoyed using Air. In fact, I think the last time I enjoyed using an iPhone as much as I've enjoyed using Air was when this little guy came out, the iPhone 10. The way this phone feels and makes you feel is something quite special. And I knew very early on that this is gonna be a great phone. But I also knew very early on as I started using him that this wasn't gonna be a great phone for me. So, Bluey Louie now has a brother. Nemo. I'm not necessarily saying there's anything wrong with it. Well, okay, look, there's a couple of things wrong for me, but obviously what's wrong for me might not be wrong for you, and what's wrong for you might not be wrong for me. I think the major thing that's wrong here is me. I think I was just too excited, too hyped in the moment. I was in the Apple Store on launch day, which I've never been in the Apple Store on launch day, by the way. I was in Florida at the time. I was so excited. I went in there. I was like, yes. Because when I saw the promo video of Air, I was like, that's going to be mine. And I went in there, picked him up, and I was like, this is so sexy. Because we haven't had a new iPhone for so long, because, well, we have, but every year it feels the same as the year before. So, yeah, I was just excited in the moment. I went in the Apple Store with my mum. She had in her head she wanted the Air as well. We played around with Air and Pro, and she turned around and said she wanted the Pro. And in the back of my head, I had voices saying I should do the same, but I didn't listen to them, so I got Air. And I remember after unboxing Air and taking him out in a real life situation, because when you're in the Apple Store, you're not really in a real life situation, because you can't hear the speaker properly and all that kind of stuff. The first 10-15 minutes of using Air, I knew I'd made a mistake. I remember opening the camera app and trying to zoom in over there. And of course you can zoom in, but yeah, it was a different zoom to the Pro zoom. And I was like, yes, I probably shouldn't drop this because I'm gonna need to return it or sell it, so it needs to be in good condition. Look, let me start with the battery. No issues with the battery whatsoever. The thing with the battery is, which I had to try and stop myself from doing, is I always have a power source with me, whether it's to stick on the back, plug in, I'm in the car, at home, whatever. Like, I've always got a battery source. I can't remember the last time I've actually let a phone run out. So on the first day, I was doing what I normally do with a phone, which I know is bad, when it's like 60%, just plugging it in and getting it back up to 85 or whatever. And I had to stop myself doing that the next day because I was like, well, I need to see how good the battery is. And it did last for full days, right? And now, obviously, everyone's day is different, but on normal average usage, scrolling, taking a few pictures, a few videos on the phone, listening to music, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, this will see you through the full day, because it did with me for many days. So that's like unplugging it at like 8:30 in the morning and not needing to plug it in and top it up till probably about 5:30 in the evening. Remember, everyone's day is different, but that average day of nothing heavy, it's definitely going to last you the full day. As soon as you start heavy tasks, like using the camera app for large periods of time and all that kind of stuff, like any phone or any electronic, juice is going to go quicker and you're going to need to top it up earlier. And when I was out there, I was using my 16 Pro as my kind of main vlogging camera. So as soon as I switched to Air, I was trying to do the same thing to see how this was going to be, how was this going to hold up. And yeah, as soon as I had those heavy days with the camera, I needed to plug Air in a lot earlier, a lot earlier, because the battery drained a lot quicker. So, but like I said, that goes for anything. So there's nothing wrong with the battery or nothing wrong with the phone. It was just me using the phone more. So on the battery side of it, for me, I was actually more impressed. It lasted longer than I thought it would do. I can't drop him. I cannot drop him. I nearly just dropped him. I can't drop him. No, just hold him like this. With the overheating side of things, yes, he got hot. Now let's remember, I was in the Florida heat. And if you know about the Florida heat, you know about the Florida heat. So when I was using the camera app for large periods of time, he got hot, mainly at the top, you know, where everything is tucked away. Not really hotter than I've experienced the 16 Pro getting, so it wasn't like alarmingly hot. What was different though, which I wasn't used to, was, you know, when it gets hot, the screen dims. Like it just dims a little bit. With this, it was like double dimming. It was like, I was like, I actually have to take my sunglasses off to see the screen. So yeah, look, it wasn't, what I'm trying to say is the overheating, well, it's not an issue for me. It's not, hasn't got more hot than like the 16 Pro. It didn't heat up more than the 16 Pro was heating up, like alarmingly. Obviously when you're using things like, when I was using like Photoshop, the CapCut app and all of those like intense apps, yeah, it got hotter. And like I said, when the camera app was open for large periods of time, it was getting hot. And also when I was using the, you know, when you go on Amazon or these sites now, you can like do the virtual try on. I was like virtually trying on some sunglasses. I can't remember what site it was. It might have been Sunglass Hut, where you go on and it says like virtually try it on and it opens the camera app. I was trying on these sunglasses for probably about 2 minutes, and the heat coming off the phone for those 2 minutes was actually more heat than I had felt when I was out using the actual camera app just recording me, which was interesting. But anyway, like I said, it's not been an issue where I'm like, this is the reason I don't want it, because it just really feels like the same kind of heat as I've been used to with the 16 Pro. So James, why on earth are you replacing Bluey Louie with Nemo? Nope, that's not Nemo. This is Nemo. I've never had so many iPhones in front of me. Why are you replacing Bluey Louie with Nemo? Right, there's two things for me. Oh, the first thing is the camera. Now, I know, so don't tell me, I know I should have known this. Based on, particularly based on what I just told you, the fact that I'm trying to use my phone as my main vlogging camera, my main camera, why on earth, James, would you then switch to a phone with one camera? Yeah, I know, because I was just excited and stupid in the moment. I want to tell you this though, the camera on this is very, I was really impressed with the camera quality on this, right? I've taken a lot of videos and a lot of pictures on this phone, and I was really impressed with what it can produce, but it's just not enough. For me, mainly down to the zooming element. I could live without the wide angle. I barely use the wide angle. It's the zooming element for me. So for example, as I said, before I got Air, I was using 16 Pro whilst I was out there to create most of my videos. And I got some really good shots from far away with my 16 Pro. With Air, those shots are still doable because you can zoom in 6 times is a digital zoom, so it's digitally zooming, but it's a bit mushy. I was actually really impressed at the quality. It's not like mushy, like it is usable, but side by side with the Pro zoom, yeah, it's just a bit of a mushy mess. So for me, the main reason, I would say probably the main reason, apart from, well, I'm going to come on to the next one in a minute, is the restrictiveness of the cameras. And when I was in the Apple store, right, as you can see on my wrist, yeah, these are all my festival wristbands just for this year. So I like going to my music festivals. Mate, I'm one of them at the music festivals where I'm zooming into the DJ, I'm like this, I'm like this. I completely forgot about the music festival shooting. Most of the time, you know, it's quite low light as well. So when you're using that digital zoom in highlight or good light, you could just about get away with it, let alone in low light. So I completely forgot about the music festivals. I was like, no. Yeah, just too excited in the moment. That's what I was. I do want to say this though. If you are not planning on using Air as like is professional the right word? I don't know. Like I'm planning to use it for, right? My main kind of vlogging camera when I'm out and about and stuff. Like this is going to be fine for you. If you're just taking those videos, those pictures, those whatever, and you're not zooming in that much, because I would say up to about 3 times zoom, it's pretty good, right? If you're not gonna be that person that's gonna miss the wide angle and all that, like this is fun. Like, what you need to ask yourself is how many times, I would say in the last year, have you used the wide angle? How many times have you like zoomed in, I don't know, further than 3 times? And then say, if you have, you know, I don't know, over 50%, I don't know, make up a percentage, then maybe then this phone isn't for you because you will miss those like 2 cameras that obviously aren't there. Let's just talk about the front camera, which obviously is the same across the board. By the way, holding the phone like this, like vertically to record horizontal, so good, so good. But the other thing also that I need to say is, because I've just remembered holding it up like this, when I have been holding it up, like talking, obviously to the camera, vlogging, the mic setup on air is obviously not the same. You don't get that kind of I think they call it studio mic setup. It's not the same on air, and you can really hear the difference in the voice. So again, for me, you know, walking and talking to the camera, like you need to be able to hear my voice, especially when I haven't got a mic connected. And you can hear it, but it's a little bit tinny in places. So that's why I've come to the decision I've come to. The biggest thing is the camera, which I know you're gonna say to me, James, you should have known. I know, I should have. I was just too excited in the moment. So anyway, just ask yourself those questions. How many times have you used, the wide angle? How many times do you zoom in? If you don't use it that much and you don't, need the best microphones, this is actually gonna be a perfect phone with the perfect camera for you. Reason number 2 why Bluey Louie has to go is the speaker. The shockingly bad speaker. Is it bad? Okay, look, it's good. It's okay. It's okay. Again, what's bad to me might not be bad to you. Remember that. Like, everyone's wants and needs and issues are different. And I know what you're going to say and thinking, James, you could have listened to the speaker in the Apple Store. No, you're right. And I feel even more stupid now because I remember how I was listening to it in the Apple Store. I was trying to listen to it. I was like this, trying to listen to the sound. That should have been a red flag in itself. The fact that I was trying to listen to the speaker. I should have been able to just listen to the speaker. Again, I was too sucked up in the excitement and the moment. Look, you can hear stuff, right? Of course, you can hear stuff, but it's tinny. When the bass hits, it's muffly. I remember earlier I was like, my music festivals, when I go to my camping music festivals, by like day 3, the Bluetooth speaker has run out, and sometimes you just play a track on your phone. Mate, there is no way on earth I could sit in a field around my mates and play anything of this, and anyone would be able to hear anything. Look, let me show you. Let me show you. Right, we're on full volume. I'll hold it here. Right, let's go to the bass bit. Right, let's play the same on a Pro, right? And as you, where's the, there you go. So full volume, right? Hold it in the same place. Right, let's go to the bass bit. Yeah, you get the idea. I mean, look, you can obviously hear it. Like, yeah, especially because it's like I'm sitting in a silent room, you can hear it. I guess the question you need to ask yourself, again, is how much does a speaker mean to you? How much do you use headphones? Like, I very rarely use headphones. Don't worry, I'm not one of them ones that sit on the train and play it out loud. I very rarely go on the train anyway. But like at home, like let's say you're in bed, like and you're watching a YouTube video or whatever, and you've got the phone horizontal, that's when it gets even weirder because, it's only coming out of one side. And you keep pressing the up button because you think it's not up, but it is up. It can't go any more up. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're just sitting here, maybe scrolling on TikTok and that's all you kind of do with it, it might be fine for you. But like I said, for me, playing music out and about in the fields when I'm out there sometimes without a Bluetooth speaker and watching those YouTube videos horizontal, it's not good. It's just tinny and muffly. And again, I know I was just sucked up in the moment. The fact that I was in the Apple Store trying to listen and couldn't hear should have been a red flag. Just one more thing with the speaker, promise it's the last thing because I just remembered it. When I was out in Florida, I left the car and I'm walking along, I'm FaceTiming my mum. I had to go back to the car because I couldn't hear her properly. I'm walking along like this when I should have been walking along like this as I've been used to doing with my 16 Pro. Yeah, I just think I just am not willing to make the adjustment to have to find a quiet area or walk back to the car to do something like FaceTime or have someone on speaker and all that kind of stuff. But again, you know, ask yourself, how many times do you FaceTime or have someone on speakerphone? Because if you don't, then that might not be an issue for you. But I do walk and talk and have, you know, mum on FaceTime quite a lot. So for me, immediately I was like, oh, no, this is not good. So those are the couple of reasons I'm gonna have to say farewell to Bluey Louie. But hello and welcome to Nemo. This is a great phone. This is a great phone. It's just not a great phone for me. I love how it feels. I love how it looks. Like sometimes I just hold it in my hand like this. Just hold it. No, just hold it like this. But I can't spend this much money on feels and looks. I have to be practical. And based on what I told you earlier, with me planning to use my phone like for the hardcore camera stuff, yeah, I just can't. But like I said, for you guys out there that aren't planning on using the hardcore camera stuff, or the speaker is not that much of an issue to you, I'm telling you, this is the perfect phone. And I will be really sad to see him go, no, we're not gonna get upset. So don't try match what your phone does to you, match what you do to your phone.